Hello. Today we are going to discuss the last part of isomerism, and that was conformational analysis, right? So let's start conformational analysis. See, what are conformers that you need to understand first? Uh, it is very true that around a single covalent bond, the free rotation is possible, that we have understood very well. Let's say I have a molecule of ethane. Let's say I have a molecule of ethane. In ethane molecule, there is a covalent bond between two carbon atoms, and if you observe, you will find that this covalent bond is formed by overlapping of two sp3 hybridized orbital of carbon, right? Two sp3 hybridized orbital of carbon overlapping is taking place, and three hydrogen are present at each carbon atom. Three hydrogens are present at each carbon atom. What I am saying, what do you mean by the free rotation is possible? Let's say this is the first carbon atom, and this one is the first carbon atom, this is second carbon atom, and overlapping is taking place, means there is a common space of two orbital. Common space we are having here when I am going to pick the cap over pen. And now what do you mean by free rotation? Just hold one carbon atom and start rotating the second carbon atom. While doing so, there is no effect on overlapping, there is no effect on volume which is overlapped between two orbital. So we can say that free rotation is possible around the single covalent bond, and the definition of conformer arises there itself. Definition is conformers arises because of free rotation around single covalent bond. If you rotate the compound around a single covalent bond, we are going to get different structures, and that different structures are known as conformer. Let us write the definition first. The definition of conformer is it arises because of free rotation around single covalent bond because of free rotation different structures are obtained which is known as conformer. We are going to write some more statement about conformer that is important. Let's write that. Important statement about conformer is, first point, the energy difference among conformer is very less. That is why it is said conformers cannot be separated. I will explain this statement. Just wait few minutes. The energy difference among conformer is very less, and that is why conformer cannot be separated. It is important. Just write it. I am going to explain that. Let's say again, the same example I have is ethane molecule. ethane molecule, if you observe, each carbon atom is sp3 hybridized and the shape around carbon atom is tetrahedral. And the thing is, practical thing is, in tetrahedral shape, if you are drawing two covalent bond around the particular atom which is having tetrahedral shape, if you are drawing two covalent bond in the plane of paper, other two covalent bond is going to be out of the plane of paper. The situation is this one. This is tetrahedral shape. Let us say this above bond and this blue pen is two covalent bond. If you are drawing these two covalent bond in the plane of paper, the rest of two covalent bond will be out of the plane. So I'm going to draw that structure. Let's say carbon-carbon covalent bond is the plane in the plane of paper, and one of the carbon-hydrogen bond of first carbon atom is also in the plane of paper. Now, the other two covalent bond is going to be out of the plane. One covalent bond will be inside the plane, that is represented by dotted line, and another covalent bond is out of the plane, that is represented by this shaded line, right? It is hydrogen. Similar case is on the second carbon also. One carbon hydrogen is in the plane of paper, other two carbon hydrogen bonds are outside the plane of paper. Outside the plane of paper, right? This is the ethane molecule. Now, to understand the conformer, we have to draw the Newman projection. And how the Newman projection is drawn? Let us say, for this molecule, I am observing this molecule from left hand side. I am going to observe this molecule from left hand side, right? Here is our eye. We are seeing from left hand side. The first carbon atom which is towards the observer will be represented by a circle, and the second carbon atom which is just behind the first carbon atom will be represented by dot line, will be represented by just a dot. And one more thing, let us say if you are observing this molecule from left hand side, from the left hand side this carbon hydrogen bond, the three carbon hydrogen bond of first carbon atom is facing towards the observer. Just do one thing, take the projection of three carbon hydrogen bond in the plane, right? Let's say this is the first carbon atom and three carbon hydrogen bond is facing the observer. This is carbon-carbon bond, and next second carbon bond will, second carbon atom will also have three carbon hydrogen bond. So I'm not talking about the second carbon. Just observe the first carbon atom. It is having three carbon hydrogen bond towards the observer. And if you are going to take the projection now, just force the light from front side, you will find that this three carbon hydrogen bond will be in a trigonal planar shape like a structure, and the angle between three carbon hydrogen bond will be 120, 120, 120, and total angle in plane is definitely going to be 360. So the bond angle, if you are taking the projection between two bond, is going to be 120, 120, 120 each, right? So I'm going to draw that structure. That is actually our Newman projection. Observe the first carbon atom. I said that first carbon atom will be represented by a circle. It is having three carbon hydrogen bond. If you are taking the projection, the three carbon hydrogen bond will be at an angle of 120, 120, 120. This is first CH3 group I have drawn. Now, second carbon is just behind the first carbon atom, which is represented by dot. Just point the dot here, right? Now observe this, let's say carbon and hydrogen 1, carbon and hydrogen 1, carbon, second carbon and hydrogen 2. These two bonds are exactly overlapping over one another. So if you are going to draw the carbon and hydrogen 2 bond, it will overlap. Let's say here it is carbon hydrogen 1, and here also we are having hydrogen. If you want to draw carbon and second H2 bond, carbon H2 single covalent bond, it will overlap with carbon and H1 bond, right? So just to look good, I am making some gap. Otherwise, in practical situation, it is going to overlap over one another. So here it will be hydrogen 2, right? Similarly, for rest of hydrogen atom also, this backside carbon will have 3 carbon hydrogen bond, which is actually will be overlapping. But to observe the scene, I'm drawing just beside, right? In actual scene, it is overlapping 100%. This is what is Newman projection. This is called our Newman projection. Next, what I am saying, this particular structure that I have drawn, in which all the bonds are exactly overlapping with one another, this particular structure is known as eclipsed form. Eclipsed form, right? Now, next what I am saying, we know that there is a free rotation around single covalent bond. If you just hold the first carbon atom, what you need to do, just hold the first carbon atom and start rotating the second carbon atom around this covalent bond. Start rotating the second carbon atom around this covalent bond. If you are doing so, the overlapping will get distorted. Now, if you will start rotating, there will not be the situation of 100% overlapping. So what I am saying, rotate the second carbon atom by 60 degree. Rotate the second carbon atom by 60 degree. If you are rotating the second carbon atom by 60 degree, what is happening actually? In this shaded and wedge diagram, it is difficult to observe, but it will be easier to observe in Newman projection. So after rotating the 60 degree, whatever structure will be obtained, I am going to draw in this Newman projection and not in flying and wedge diagram, that is shaded and wedge diagram. So what we are going to do, hold the first carbon atom, that is circled carbon is holded, and this dot carbon which is at the back side, I am going to rotate that carbon atom by 60 degree. If you are doing so, this is our front carbon atom represented by circle. Its 3 hydrogen is as it is in its position, but if you are rotating the second carbon atom, its hydrogen will be in between, it will be looking in between the carbon hydrogen bond of first carbon atom, right? This structure will be obtained if you are rotating the second carbon atom by 60 degree by holding the first one, right? Now the angle between the carbon hydrogen bond of second carbon and angle between carbon hydrogen bond of this first carbon atom, this angle is going to be 60 degree. Overall angle is going to be 20 degree. It is just exactly at the middle. If it is written by theta, this theta angle is having a particular name. It is known as a dihedral angle. It is known as dihedral angle. And the structure that we are getting, this particular structure is known as staggered form. This particular structure is known as staggered form. First one is known as eclipsed form, and now the second one is known as staggered form, right? So if we need to define what is eclipsed form and what is staggered form, we can say if the dihedral angle is equal to 60 degree, the structure obtained is staggered form. And if you observe in eclipsed form, dihedral angle is going to be 0. Here dihedral angle is going to be 0. So we can write the definition. If the dihedral angle is 0 degree, the obtained structure is known as eclipsed form, right? These are the two different structures that we are getting by rotation around single covalent bond. So these two structures are known as conformer. These two structures are known as conformer. These are having particular names, staggered and eclipsed. Let us discuss something about their stability and energies. If we are talking about eclipsed now, their bond pair electron, let's say bond pair electron of first carbon hydrogen bond and bond pair electron of second carbon hydrogen bond, if you are observing this in eclipsed form, the distance between these two bond pair electron will be minimum in case of eclipsed. It will be minimum in case of eclipse, because what is happening, This one is the first carbon atom. Let's say, let me hold the pen and I am showing you. This is the first carbon atom, and just behind it we are having second carbon atom. So bond pair electron at their minimum distance, right? And these are of course electrons here. If these are electrons, then definitely they are going to cause repulsion. And if repulsive forces are acting, energy is going to increase. And if energy is increased, stability is going to be less. But if you're talking about a staggered form, what is in a staggered form? This is the first front carbon atom and second carbon atom is rotated by 60 degree. So if you now observe the bond pair and bond pair electron, it is at its maximum distance, because further if you are rotating the backside carbon atom more than 60 degree, it will be closer to the next bond pair electron, right? If you are rotating here more than 60 degree, the next side it will be lesser than 60 degree. So again the distance is going to decrease, right? So maximum distance between bond pair can be obtained only in case of staggered form. And if it is having maximum distance between two bond pair electron in a staggered form, repulsion will be minimum and energy also going to be minimum. So stability of staggered form is going to be more. Let us write the conclusion. I'm giving you the conclusion. I hope you have drawn the structures. I hope you understand and drawn the structure. Let us write the conclusion. Conclusion is staggered form is more stable than eclipsed form because the distance between bond pair electron is maximum in staggered form. One more thing you should keep in your mind, that lesser is the distance between bond pair electron more is the electronic repulsion, more is the energy of the system, and lesser is the stability. I hope it is clear to you about a staggered and eclipsed form. In eclipsed form, the bond pair distance is minimum. The repulsion force between bond pair and bond pair is going to be maximum. So stability of eclipsed form is definitely going to be minimum. While in a staggered case, the distance between bond pair is maximum, electronic repulsion is minimum, and so we can say the stability of staggered form is more than eclipsed form, definitely most stable staggered form, right? So we have understand about this staggered form and eclipsed form, but sometimes it is asked how many conformer we can draw for a particular molecule around if there is a single covalent bond, right? If a particular molecule is containing single covalent bond, how many different conformer we can draw, right? The correct answer for this question is infinite. We can draw infinite number of conformer, because conformer, the definition was by rotation around single covalent bond we are getting the different structures, and that different structures are known as conformers. So we have discussed the two extreme cases where when the dihedral angle is minimum 0 degree, that is eclipsed, and when the dihedral angle is maximum, which is 60 degree, we are getting staggered. There are so many angles between 0 to 60, so we can draw infinite number of structures. There may be the situation if dihedral angle is 0.1 or 0.11 or 0.111 or so many structures. Infinite number of angles are there, so we can draw infinite number of conformer around a single covalent bond, right? So let us write the definition of staggered and eclipsed. Staggered form. Staggered form. If the dihedral angle is 0 degree, 60 degree, the structure is known as staggered form. Next, eclipsed. If the dihedral angle is 0 degree, the structure is known as eclipsed form. Next, an important point is, let's write the next point. We can draw infinite number of other structure between the two extreme that is eclipsed and staggered are known as skew conformer. This word you should remember, right? Sometimes it may be asked, what are skew conformer? If the dihedral angle lie between 0 to 60 degree, definitely that structure is also conformer. That is known as skew conformer, right? I hope it is clear to you. Next that we need to discuss is, let us try to understand that why we cannot separate these two conformers. If we are having, let's say, eclipsed and staggered form of a particular compound, let us say ethane. So why we cannot separate them, right? And what is the exact energy gap between eclipsed and staggered? Now, till the discussion that we have done, from there we can conclude that the energy of staggered is going to be less, while energy of eclipsed is more. So the more stable structure is staggered. If you are moving from a staggered structure to eclipsed structure, more stable to less stable, then we have to supply energy to the system, right? Lesser energy to more energy, definitely system has to absorb energy from outside. And if you are moving from eclipsed to staggered, some amount of energy is going to be released, because eclipsed structure is having more energy while staggered is having lesser energy. So in case of ethane, the energy required to convert for interconversion of staggered to eclipsed is 12 kilojoule per mole. This is just for reference. This data is just for reference. Now from here we can understand what is exactly the energy difference between two extreme conformer of a particular compound in case of ethane, and why it is said that we cannot separate conformer from each other. The value written is, here it is written, if you are converting a structure from a staggered to eclipse, you need 12 kilojoule per mole amount of energy. What I want, for better understanding, calculate this energy per molecule, then you can feel it, how much energy is there, right? If I want to calculate the energy required per molecule, for one molecule, if you are converting from staggered to eclipsed, how much energy is required? For that, let us say it is 12 kilojoule. Convert that kilojoule into joule. It will be multiplied by 3. 12 into 3 joule. Now in denominator it is written 1 mole. Convert that 1 mole into molecule. 1 mole is containing 6.022 into 10 raised 23 molecule, right? So if you are calculating per molecule, just simplify it. Approximately it is going to be 2 into 10 raised minus 20 joule per molecule. Now you can feel it. For one molecule, the energy required for the conversion from staggered to eclipse is 2 into 10 raised minus 20. The required energy is very, very less. And in practical scene, what is happening, if you are collecting from anywhere, anyhow, if you are getting a staggered structure and you just place it in a container and molecule is having its zigzag motion, random motion, then molecule may collide with another molecule or with the wall of container. And the practical fact is that if the collision is taking place, the energy produced during the collision is more than 2 into 10 raised minus 20. So if you are taking the staggered from anyhow, the same molecule during collision may be converted in eclipsed form. So the same molecule is actually changing the structure, right? So how we can separate them? How we can separate staggered from eclipsed? That's not possible at all, because same molecule which is having staggered form at a moment, next moment it is going to achieve eclipsed form, right? So I hope that point is clear to you, that is conformers cannot be separated and the energy required for their conversion is very, very less. And this is the energy for the conversion of two extreme conformer. What about skew conformers? The energy required will be even less than this, right? So let's start next. This was the energy criteria for ethane molecule. Next, what we need to understand, there is a definition of strain, torsional strain and torsional energy. Torsional strain and torsional energy. Right, let us try to understand the definition. There is an energy gap between staggered and eclipsed. So when staggered form is going converted in eclipsed form, it needs a small amount of energy. Definitely it is a small amount of energy, but corresponding to that small amount of energy, there will be an opposing force which is going to oppose the free rotation, right? That opposing force corresponding to small energy is known as torsional strain, and the energy required to convert staggered form to eclipsed form is known as torsional energy. So let us write the definition. Because of because of energy difference, between staggered and eclipsed, the free rotation around single covalent bond is opposed. The opposing force is known as torsional strain, and energy required to convert one conformer to another is known as torsional energy. I hope this is clear to you. Torsional strain and torsional energy. It is not difficult. You can copy the statement, and the next part of this conformers of ethane is we have to draw the energy versus dihedral angle, right? We are going to draw energy versus dihedral angle graph. So let's start that one also, because sometimes what happens in examination, some graph will be given energy versus dihedral angle, and there they may ask which one is least stable, which conformer will be obtained at a particular line. Such type of question may be asked, right? So let's start that portion also. Graph between energy and dihedral angle. Graph between energy and dihedral angle. We need to draw the graph, energy and dihedral angle. So to draw that energy and dihedral angle graph, let us start with the same situation that we had taken. We were taking the situation of eclipsed form. I am drawing that eclipsed form of ethane. Right now we are doing for ethane only. This is ethane. Now the next is, this is the front side carbon atom with the 3 carbon hydrogen bond. A back side carbon atom, it is also going to have 3 carbon hydrogen bond. It is having 3 carbon hydrogen bond. Let us say draw the back side carbon with blue pen. It is black side carbon hydrogen bond. What we are going to do, rotate, just hold the front side carbon atom and rotate the back side carbon atom by 60 degree. Hold the front side carbon atom and rotate the back side carbon atom by 60 degree. If you are rotating the back side carbon atom by 60 degree by holding front one, there is no change on front carbon atom. While back side carbon atom hydrogen position is going to be changed, carbon hydrogen bond position is going to be changed. Here the dihedral angle will be 60 degree. The dihedral angle theta is going to be 60 degree. Next, repeat the same process for the obtained structure. Repeat again, hold the front side carbon atom and rotate the back side carbon atom again by 60 degree. If you are doing so, you are again going to get eclipsed form. We were started with eclipsed. Next structure is staggered. Again, if you are rotating by 60 degree, you are going to get eclipsed, right? I hope it is clear to you. It is hydrogen, hydrogen, eclipsing is there. Next, repeat the same thing. Again, hold the front side carbon atom and rotate the back side carbon atom by 60 degree and keep on doing until you are going to rotate the back side carbon atom by 360 degree. If you are rotating it by 360 degree, you will achieve the first situation again, right? So for that, starting from 0 dihedral angle to 360 dihedral angle, we are going to draw the graph. In case of ethane, it is not much affected. You are alternatively going to get eclipsed, staggered, eclipsed, staggered, eclipsed, staggered, and so on. But if the compound is changed, then there may be the problem, right? There may be a different structure. I will take an example for that. But for this situation, for ethane situation, if you are drawing dihedral angle and in dihedral angle versus energy graph, alternatively you are going to get eclipsed, staggered, and so on. Y-axis I am going to take energy. On y-axis it is energy, and on x-axis it is dihedral angle theta. We are having two extreme conformer. We are having two form of conformer. If you are rotating 60 degree, 60 degree, 60 degree, one is eclipsed, another one is staggered. Definitely energy of staggered is going to be more than eclipsed. So draw the two energy line. One is for eclipsed. Definitely eclipsed energy is more, and another one is for staggered. It is for staggered. Now next, if the dihedral angle theta is 0, then in that case you are going to get eclipsed structure. Next, if you are making dihedral angle 60 degree, you are going to get staggered form. Again rotate by 60 degree, from 0 to 60 you are getting staggered. Again if you are rotating 60 degree, from 0 it is going to be 120. Overall angle is going to be, overall rotation is going to be 120, and at 120 angle you are going to get eclipse form. Next, again rotate by 60 degree, it is 180 actually, from 0. You are going to get staggered. Alternatively it is staggered, eclipsed, and so on. At 240 it is eclipsed. Next, at 300 it is again staggered, and at 360 you are going to get eclipsed. Whatever point you have got, just join those points with a smooth line. You will get the complete energy versus dihedral angle graph. So start joining these points. This is the graph, energy versus dihedral angle graph for ethane. It is moving first, eclipsed, staggered, and the angle we are taking it is 60, 60, 60, 60, and so on, right? So this was the energy dihedral angle graph for ethane. Now it is the complete description of ethane. Now next we are going to take ethane molecule. Next is molecule that we need to take is ethane molecule. Sorry, propane. Ethane we have done. Let's take next example is propane. Propane is CH3, CH2 and CH3. We are having 3 carbon atom here. Carbon number 1, 2, 3. Now it may be asked, draw the conformer or draw the energy versus dihedral angle around carbon number 1 and 2 single covalent bond, or around carbon number 2, 3, carbon number 2, carbon number 3 single covalent bond, right? So for now I am going to take the single covalent bond of carbon number 1 and 2, right? Now next, if I am going to observe this molecule from left side, I am observing this molecule from left side. So front side carbon, which is towards the observer, is going to be first carbon atom, and first carbon atom will be represented by circle. First carbon atom is having 3 carbon hydrogen bonds. So draw the 3 carbon hydrogen bond. This is our first carbon atom. Now the second carbon atom will be backside carbon atom. And if you observe, the second carbon atom is having 2 hydrogen and 1 CH3 group. Second carbon atom is attached with 2 hydrogen and 1 CH3 group, right? So starting with the eclipsed condition, very similar to the previous case. If we are starting with the eclipsed condition, second carbon atom is having 2 hydrogen and 1 CH3. So eclipsing will be hydrogen on CH3, next it is hydrogen and hydrogen, next here it is hydrogen and hydrogen. This will be the eclipsed form of propane, right? This will be the eclipsed form of propane. If you are drawing the conformer around the covalent bond formed between carbon number 1 and carbon number 2. If you are taking the case to draw the conformer between carbon around covalent bond between carbon number 2 and 3, again you are going to get the similar condition. The only difference is the CH3 which is present on back side carbon will appear on front side carbon. That is the only difference you are going to get, right? You can see that one also. Let us say it is having CH3, CH2 and CH3. If you are taking the covalent bond between carbon number 2 and 3, the front side carbon will be having 2 hydrogen and 1 CH3. Backside carbon will be having 3 carbon hydrogen bond. So if you are taking the second case, this CH3 will be on front side carbon atom. If you are taking first case, the CH3 is on backside carbon. There is no difference in these two. There is no difference, right? Now, very similar to the previous case, again we are going to hold the first carbon atom and rotate the second carbon atom by 60 degree and so on. If you are rotating the second carbon atom by 60 degree, you are going to get a staggered form. Again you are going to get a staggered form. This is hydrogen, 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 and next CH3 will appear between 2 hydrogen carbon hydrogen bond of front side carbon, and this will be the structure. This is a staggered form. If you are again holding the front side carbon atom and rotating the back side carbon atom by 60 degree, you are going to get eclipsed form. That is very similar to the first eclipsed, right? There is no change. In first eclipse there is eclipsing of 2 hydrogen and 1 CH3, 1 hydrogen. If you are drawing again, if you are rotating the front side carbon again you will reach the same situation. There will be eclipsing of 2 hydrogen and 1 eclipsing will be of CH3 and hydrogen. So what I am saying, again the energy of all the eclipse that you are getting and all the staggered that you are getting will be same, right? Let us say this is eclipse 1, and if you are rotating again and you are going to get eclipse 2. So my point is the energy of eclipse 1 and eclipse 2 will be equal. And if you rotate again by 60 degree, you are going to get staggered. Then energy of staggered 1 and staggered 2 will be going to be equal. So there is no difference between the nature of curve that we are going to obtain in case of ethane. It will be very similar to that case we have done in case of ethane also. All the staggered form are having same energy and all the eclipsed form are having same energy. It is very similar to the case of ethane, right? Now, next case that we need to discuss is of butane. There may be different situation and that is important. Next case is of butane. You can complete this case by drawing the energy versus dihedral angle theta graph, right? You just complete this case because I am not going to complete it. It is very similar to previous. It is very similar to the previous case, right? So you just complete it. Let's take the next case. Next case is of butane, CH3, CH2, CH2 and CH3. If you want to draw the conformer between carbon number 1 and 2, you will reach the same situation that we have done in previous case, in case of propane or in case of ethane. All the staggered and all the eclipsed, all staggered are having same energy, all eclipsed are going to have same energy. But the situation will be changed if you are going to draw the conformers around covalent bond between carbon number 2 and carbon number 3. Because look at the situation, carbon number 2 is having 2 carbon hydrogen bond and 1 carbon CH3 bond. Similarly, carbon number 3 is having 2 carbon hydrogen bond and 1 carbon CH3 bond, right? This is the structure, right? You need to rotate the molecule around this covalent bond between carbon number 2 and 3. Just you try this case, and try to draw the dihedral angle and energy diagram for the case of butane. This is the last case, and some special case I will discuss, some more special cases I will discuss in next class. And if required, if you will be interested, I will discuss the conformers of cyclohexane too, right? But it depends on your interest. So first you complete this conformers of butane. Try to complete that. I'll take it in next class, and also some special cases. For this class, let's end it here itself. Let's meet in next class. Bye bye.